Before we begin to change anything in the body, before we try to fix, improve, or control it, let us pause and consider a simple yet profound truth. Your body is not a machine. It is an intelligent, living field of awareness. It is not something you have. It is something you are participating in moment by moment. Right now, as you listen to these words, your heart is beating without your command. Your lungs are breathing even when you forget about them. Trillions of cells are communicating, exchanging information, repairing tissue, balancing chemicals, and adapting to subtle changes in your environment. There is a symphony unfolding within you, and not a single instrument is waiting for your conscious instruction. This intelligence has been present since before you took your first breath. When you cut your skin, you do not have to think about healing. When you fall asleep, you do not instruct your body how to restore itself. When you digest food, you do not direct the enzymes. There is a deeper organizing principle at work, an innate wisdom moving through every cell. The body knows how to return to balance. It always has. And yet, we have been conditioned to believe that the body is fragile, that it must be constantly controlled, corrected, or feared. We have separated ourselves from this intelligence. We override it with stress. We drown it in constant thought. We interrupt its natural rhythms with tension and resistance. But the intelligence never leaves. It patiently waits beneath the noise. Take a slow breath now, and as you exhale, feel the simple miracle of being alive. Feel the subtle pulse in your hands, the quiet movement in your chest. This is not mechanical activity. It is dynamic awareness expressing itself as life. Your body is not separate from your mind. It is the mind made visible. Every thought you think becomes chemistry. Every emotion becomes sensation. The body is listening to your inner dialogue. If you constantly tell yourself you are tired, stressed, unwell, the body responds to that message, not because it is weak, but because it is responsive. It is always adapting to the story you are telling. But imagine just for a moment what happens when the story changes. Imagine what happens when you shift from control to trust. The intelligence within you thrives in safety. It flourishes in calm awareness. When you soften your thoughts, the body softens its defenses. When you breathe slowly, the nervous system receives a signal. It is safe now. You can repair, you can restore, you can return to balance. This is why awareness is so powerful. Not because it forces healing, but because it removes interference. The body does not need you to micromanage it. It needs you to listen. It needs space. It needs your presence more than your effort. Bring your attention gently to your heart area, not to analyze it, not to judge it, just to notice it. Feel the quiet rhythm there. Beneath that rhythm is an intelligence that has been guiding you since before you had words. It knows how to circulate blood to exactly where it is needed. It knows how to respond to subtle emotional shifts. It adjusts continuously, effortlessly. Now expand that awareness to your entire body. Notice how sensations arise and dissolve. Tingling, warmth, coolness, pressure. These are messages. They are the language of the body. And when you listen without resistance, the language becomes harmonious. Healing begins not with doing, but with remembering. Remembering that you are not separate from the intelligence that created you. The same organizing force that spins galaxies is orchestrating the movement of atoms within your cells. There is no division between the intelligence of the universe and the intelligence of your body. It is one continuous field expressing itself uniquely as you. When you trust this, something shifts. The grip of fear loosens. The need to control softens. You begin to cooperate with your body instead of battling it. And in that cooperation, balance naturally begins to restore itself. You do not have to force harmony. You simply allow it. You do not have to manufacture healing. You create the conditions for it by becoming present. So as you sit here now, breathing gently, let this understanding settle into you. Your body is not your enemy. It is not broken. It is not confused. It is intelligent beyond comprehension. Every cell is participating in a dance of renewal. And the moment you align your awareness with that intelligence, you activate its full potential. Trust the wisdom within you. Now that you have begun to sense the intelligence within your body, let us move into something even more subtle, yet infinitely powerful, the healing power of awareness itself. Awareness is often misunderstood. We think of it as concentration, as effort, as trying to focus on something. But true awareness is gentle. It is open, it is receptive. It does not strain, it simply notices. And in that simple noticing, transformation begins. Where awareness goes, energy flows. This is not poetry, it is experience. Think about a time when you felt anxious. The moment your attention locked onto a fearful thought, your body responded. Your heart rate shifted. Your muscles tightened. Chemistry changed, awareness moved, and energy followed. Now imagine using that same principle consciously, softly, intentionally. Bring your attention to your hands. Just notice them. Without moving them, without judging them, simply feel the aliveness there. You may begin to notice warmth, subtle vibration, tingling. What is happening? Nothing external has changed. But your awareness has illuminated that area, and suddenly sensation becomes vivid. Attention awakens perception. Perception awakens energy. The body responds to awareness like a plant responds to sunlight. It opens, it communicates, it reorganizes. When you place calm, non-judging attention on any part of your body, you send a signal of care, you send a message of safety, and safety is the foundation of healing. So often, when we feel discomfort, our instinct is to resist it. We tense around pain. We push away unpleasant sensations. But resistance creates contraction. Contraction interrupts flow. Awareness, on the other hand, creates space. And in space, the body recalibrates. If there is an area of tension in your body right now, bring your attention there, not to fix it, not to force it to change, but simply to be with it. Notice its texture. Is it sharp or dull, steady or pulsing, warm or cool? As you observe it without labeling it as bad, something remarkable begins to happen. The boundary between you and the sensation softens. The struggle dissolves. Awareness is not passive. It is profoundly active in a silent way. When you observe a sensation without resistance, you interrupt the stress response. The nervous system shifts from defense to balance. The body receives the message, I am safe enough to let go. Most of us live in constant internal commentary. We narrate our lives endlessly. But the body does not heal through commentary. It heals through presence. The more you inhabit this moment, without drifting into past, regret, or future worry, the more coherent your internal systems become. Coherence is harmony. When the mind stops sending chaotic signals of fear, the heart rhythm stabilizes. When the heart rhythm stabilizes, the brain receives a signal of order. When the brain perceives order, it regulates hormones more effectively. All of this begins with awareness. Notice your breath now, not to control it, but to witness it. Feel the inhale entering, feel the exhale leaving. Between the two, there is a subtle pause. In that pause, there is stillness. In that stillness, there is pure awareness, free from thought, free from effort. This awareness is your deepest nature. It is not stressed. It is not wounded. It is not fragmented. It is whole. And when you rest as awareness, even briefly, the body aligns with that wholeness. Imagine your awareness like a soft light moving through your body. As it travels, it illuminates areas that have been ignored. And wherever light touches, there is communication. Cells respond to their environment constantly. Your thoughts and emotions are part of that environment. But so is your loving attention. You do not need to understand the biology for it to work, just as you do not need to understand how your heart beats in order for it to beat. Awareness is the bridge between consciousness and physiology. It translates intention into experience. If the mind has been busy, scattered, overwhelmed, the body mirrors that state. But the moment awareness becomes steady and calm, the mirror changes. The body begins to reflect clarity instead of chaos. There is great power in simply saying inwardly, I am here. Not as a statement of ego, but as a declaration of presence. I am here with this breath. I am here with this sensation. I am here in this living body. Healing is not something you chase. It is something you allow by becoming fully present. Stay with this gentle awareness. Let it spread naturally without force. and trust that wherever your attention rests in calm presence, balance begins to return. As your awareness becomes steadier and more intimate with the body, you may begin to notice something subtle yet profound, that the body has been holding more than just physical sensation. It has been holding experiences. It has been holding unfinished emotions. It has been holding the echoes of moments you may have long forgotten consciously. Yet the body remembers. The body is a living archive of every experience you have ever had. Not as stories, but as sensations. A harsh word spoken years ago may still live as tightness in the chest. A period of uncertainty may still echo as tension in the stomach. Stress that was never fully processed does not simply disappear, it settles into the tissues, into the muscles, into the nervous system. And this is not a flaw. It is simply how the body protects you. When an experience feels overwhelming, the mind may move on quickly, but the body holds the charge, waiting for a moment of safety to release it. Right now, in this space of awareness, you are creating that safety. Begin by noticing where your body feels tight or contracted. Perhaps it is the shoulders subtly lifted as if bracing. Perhaps the jaw is clenched without your awareness. Perhaps the belly feels guarded. There is no need to judge any of this. Just observe gently. Stress has a physical signature. It contracts, it narrows, it prepares for defense. And when the body remains in that contracted state for too long, it forgets how to relax fully. This is why awareness is so important. It reminds the body that the threat has passed. Take a slow breath in, and as you exhale, imagine the breath flowing directly into the area of tension. Not to push it away, not to fight it, but to meet it. When you bring breath and awareness together, you create space around the sensation. And in that space, the stored energy begins to soften. You may notice subtle shifts, warmth spreading, muscles unwinding, a deeper breath emerging naturally. Or you may notice emotions rising unexpectedly, sadness, frustration, even tears. This is not regression, this is release. The body does not distinguish between physical and emotional stress. To the nervous system, it is all stimulation. And so when you allow yourself to feel without resistance, you are completing cycles that may have remained unfinished. There is great wisdom in allowing sensation to move. Think of emotion as energy in motion. When you resist it, it stagnates. When you observe it with compassion, it flows. And what flows can transform. Stay present with whatever arises. If there is tightness, breathe into it. If there is heaviness, give it permission to be there. The paradox is that what you allow begins to dissolve. What you fight persists. Notice how the body responds when you stop demanding that it be different. The shoulders drop a little more. The face softens. The breath deepens without effort. This is the nervous system shifting from survival to restoration. Most of us have lived in a state of subtle vigilance for so long that we mistake it for normal. But the body was never designed to remain in constant alertness. It was designed for rhythm, engagement and rest, activation and recovery. When recovery is interrupted repeatedly, stress accumulates. Yet the body is remarkably forgiving. The moment you create a pocket of presence, it begins to recalibrate. The muscles release micro-tensions. The heart rhythm steadies. Hormones rebalance. All because you chose to pause and listen. Bring your awareness now to your entire body as one unified field. Notice where there is ease. Notice where there is contraction. And without trying to fix anything, simply breathe and allow. You may even silently say to your body, it's okay to let go, not as a command, but as an invitation. Feel the truth of that invitation. The body has been waiting for permission to soften. It has been carrying responsibilities, expectations, pressures. And in this moment, you are telling it that it does not have to hold everything alone. With each exhale, imagine layers of old tension melting away. Not dramatically, not all at once, but gradually, like ice dissolving in warm water. You are not forcing release. You are witnessing it. You are cooperating with it. And as stored stress begins to unwind, you may sense a new quality emerging: lightness, openness, even quiet joy. This is your natural state beneath the accumulation of tension. The body is not meant to be a container for unresolved stress. It is meant to be a flowing expression of life. So continue breathing gently, continue observing kindly, and trust that in this field of compassionate awareness, the body knows exactly how to release what it no longer needs. Let it soften now. As the body begins to soften and release what it has been holding, you may notice that one gentle force has been quietly guiding this entire process: the breath. It has been with you since the first moment of life, and it will remain until the last. Between those two sacred moments, every experience you have ever had has been accompanied by breathing. And yet, we rarely give it our full attention. The breath is more than oxygen moving in and out of the lungs. It is the bridge between the conscious and the unconscious, between thought and physiology, between mind and body. You cannot directly command your heart to slow down with a thought, but you can slow your breath. And when the breath slows, the heart listens, the nervous system listens, every cell listens. Notice your breathing right now, not to change it, just to become aware of it. Feel the coolness of the inhale at the nostrils. Feel the subtle warmth of the exhale. Sense the rise and fall of the chest or the gentle expansion of the abdomen. There is a rhythm here, a quiet tide moving in and out. When the mind is restless, the breath becomes shallow. When you are anxious, it becomes rapid. When you are calm, it lengthens and deepens naturally. The breath mirrors your inner state, but it also has the power to reshape it. Take a slow, conscious inhale now, allowing the breath to move a little deeper than usual. And then exhale gently, completely, without force. Immediately you may sense a subtle shift, a slight quieting, a softening. This is not imagination. When the breath becomes slow and steady, it sends a message through the vagus nerve to the brain: there is no danger. You are safe. The body can come out of defense, repair can begin. Hormones of stress begin to decrease. Hormones of balance begin to rise. The breath is your direct access to the autonomic nervous system, the part of you that operates beyond conscious control. Through breathing, you step into partnership with your physiology. Let the next inhale be smooth and unhurried. And as you exhale, imagine tension leaving the body like a gentle wave receding from the shore. With each breath, you are signaling safety. With each breath, you are restoring coherence. There is also something even more subtle happening. As you become aware of your breathing, your attention gathers in the present moment. You are no longer scattered in memory or anticipation. You are here. And in this here-ness, the mind and body begin to synchronize. Notice the pause between breaths, the brief stillness after the exhale, before the next inhale begins. In that pause, there is pure potential, no past, no future, just presence. The body recognizes that stillness as peace. Allow your breathing to find a natural rhythm, perhaps inhaling to a slow count of 4 and exhaling to a slow count of 6. Longer exhalations gently encourage release. They invite the body to let go of residual tension. Feel how the belly softens as you breathe. So many of us hold the abdomen tight without realizing it, as if bracing against life. But when the belly softens, the diaphragm moves freely. And when the diaphragm moves freely, the entire system relaxes. The breath is not something you do. It is something that is happening. When you stop interfering with it, when you stop holding it unconsciously, it becomes fluid, graceful, effortless. And that effortlessness spreads throughout the body. Imagine the breath as a subtle current of light moving through you. On the inhale, it gathers energy. On the exhale, it distributes calm. With every cycle, balance deepens. Even your thoughts begin to space out. They lose urgency. They no longer pull at you with the same intensity. Because breath anchors awareness in the body, and when awareness is embodied, it is steady. If at any point the mind drifts, gently return to the breath, not as a discipline, but as a homecoming. The breath is always here, always available, always willing to guide you back to equilibrium. As you continue breathing consciously, feel how the body responds. The shoulders relax a little more. The jaw unclenches. The heartbeat becomes more rhythmic. These are signs of harmony returning. You do not need to force calm. You breathe, and calm unfolds. You lengthen the exhale, and the body remembers how to let go. You rest in the rhythm, and the mind follows. This simple act, conscious breathing, is the doorway to balance. It connects the intelligence of the body with the clarity of awareness. It unites what seems separate. Stay with the breath, now steady and gentle, and let it carry you into deeper harmony. As the breath settles into a smooth and effortless rhythm, something even more subtle begins to reveal itself. Beneath sensation, beneath thought, beneath even the gentle rise and fall of breathing, there is a quiet presence. A stillness that has always been here. It does not come and go. It does not react, it simply is. Most of our lives are spent on the surface of experience, responding to sounds, responsibilities, memories, expectations. The mind moves constantly like waves on the surface of the ocean. But the depth of the ocean remains undisturbed, no matter how active the surface may appear. In the same way, beneath the activity of your thoughts and sensations, there is a field of inner stillness. You do not create this stillness, you notice it. Allow your awareness to gently withdraw from the outer edges of experience. Sounds may still be present, sensations may still arise, thoughts may drift through. But instead of following them, let them pass like clouds across the sky. You are not the clouds. You are the open sky in which they appear. Feel the difference between being caught in a thought and simply observing it. When you observe, there is space. In that space, the body relaxes more deeply. Because much of the tension we carry is not physical, it is mental activity looping endlessly. Let the breath continue naturally now without effort. And as you rest your attention inward, notice the quiet gap between thoughts. Even if it lasts only a second, there is a pause. In that pause, there is stillness. This stillness is profoundly healing. When the mind settles, the body follows. The nervous system shifts into coherence. The heart rhythm becomes smooth. Brain waves slow. The chemistry of stress diminishes. Restoration begins at levels you cannot see, yet can feel. Stillness is not emptiness. It is fullness without noise. It is awareness resting in itself. You may notice that as you drop deeper into this inner silence, your sense of boundaries softens. The edges of the body feel less defined. The distinction between side and side becomes less rigid. There is simply awareness, quietly present. This is where balance is restored, not through effort, not through analysis, but through being. The body has an innate capacity to recalibrate when given the right conditions. And the most powerful condition is inner silence. In silence, the constant signals of urgency stop. The body no longer receives messages of threat. It begins to repair, reorganize, and harmonize. Stay here for a few moments. Let stillness hold you. If thoughts arise, do not resist them. Resistance creates ripples. Instead, allow them to dissolve back into the quiet from which they came. Like waves returning to the ocean, notice how time begins to feel different in this space. There is less rush, less pressure. The present moment expands. And in this expanded awareness, the body feels lighter. You are not trying to reach a special state. You are simply allowing yourself to rest as you are, beneath conditioning, beneath expectation. Feel how the muscles soften even more when you stop trying to meditate and simply allow yourself to be. Feel how the breath becomes almost invisible. Feel how the heart beats steadily, without demand. This inner stillness is always available. Even in the busiest day, even in the midst of challenge, there is a quiet center within you that remains untouched. The more often you return here, the more familiar it becomes. And the more familiar it becomes, the more your body learns to operate from this place of balance rather than from stress. Stillness is not the absence of life. It is the foundation of life. From stillness, movement arises. From silence, sound emerges. From calm awareness, healing unfolds. Rest here now, gently, effortlessly. And recognize that in this field of inner silence, your body is remembering its natural state of harmony. Let yourself settle completely into that quiet. As you rest in this inner stillness, something extraordinary begins to unfold beneath your conscious awareness. The body, freed from the constant signals of urgency and stress, shifts into a different mode of functioning. It moves from survival into restoration, from defense into renewal. This transition is subtle, but it is profound. Most of the time, the body is responding to perceived demands, deadlines, conversations, memories, expectations. All of these stimulate the stress response in small or large ways. Even when you are sitting still, the mind may be racing, and the body follows that pace. Muscles remain slightly contracted. Hormones of alertness circulate. Energy is directed outward, preparing for action. But now, in this calm and steady awareness, the body receives a new message. There is no immediate threat. There is nothing to defend against. It is safe to repair. In this state of relaxed presence, the parasympathetic nervous system becomes dominant. This is the aspect of your physiology designed for healing. Blood flow shifts toward the organs of digestion and repair. Inflammation begins to decrease. Cellular processes that were postponed during stress now resume their natural rhythm. You do not have to command this shift. You simply create the conditions for it by being still and aware. Imagine, for a moment, the trillions of cells within you. Each one is alive, responsive, intelligent in its own way. They are constantly communicating through chemical signals and electrical impulses. When you are tense, those signals carry urgency. When you are calm, they carry coherence. Coherence is harmony at the cellular level. It is when systems work together rather than against one another. When the heart rhythm is smooth, it influences brain waves to become more ordered. When brain waves are ordered, hormonal balance improves. When hormones are balanced, immune function strengthens. All of this unfolds naturally in a state of deep calm. Feel your body now, resting in this quiet field of awareness. Notice the sense of heaviness or perhaps lightness. Notice how the breath is soft and unforced. This is the body conserving energy, not out of fatigue, but out of wisdom. It is redirecting energy inward toward regeneration. There is an intelligence within you that knows how to renew tissue, how to replace damaged cells, how to restore balance after imbalance. Every day, millions of cells complete their life cycle and are replaced. This renewal is ongoing, it is continuous, and it is influenced by the environment you create internally. Stress accelerates where calm supports repair. As you remain present, imagine each inhale delivering nourishment to every cell. Not just oxygen, but calm intention. And with each exhale, imagine releasing residual tension, making space for renewal. You may not feel cellular regeneration directly, but you can sense its effects: warmth spreading gently, a subtle pulsation of life throughout the body, a quiet vitality emerging beneath the stillness. The body thrives in rhythm. Just as nature cycles through seasons of growth and rest, your physiology requires periods of deep restoration. Sleep offers one such opportunity. Meditation offers another. In these moments, the body is not performing for the world, it is tending to itself. And the more consistently you return to this calm awareness, the more efficiently your body remembers how to heal. Notice if there is any area of your body still asking for attention. Bring your awareness there softly, like placing a warm hand over it. Without expectation, without pressure. Simply offering presence. Presence itself is regenerative. When the mind is no longer scattering energy through worry or resistance, that energy becomes available for repair. Think of it as reclaiming vitality that was previously tied up in tension. Feel how your entire system seems to settle into a deeper equilibrium. The heartbeat steady, the breath fluid, the muscles loose, the mind quiet. This is not inactivity, it is intelligent restoration. Trust that beneath your conscious awareness, countless processes are aligning, chemical pathways recalibrating, neural connections adjusting, cells renewing their structure, all guided by an innate wisdom that responds to calm. You are not separate from this process. Your awareness participates in it. Your calm attention nourishes it. Remain here for a few more breaths, sensing the quiet vitality within you. And know that in this state of deep relaxation, your body is renewing itself from the inside out.